Good evening. I'm Randy Rolfe, and I'm proud to be here to share with you a product showcase about Niken's incomparable line of products based on a philosophy that's unique to companies around the world, unique among companies. It's a comprehensive approach to natural wellness and total health. And I'm going to be sharing some slides with you and then invite on a couple of other people to share their stories. So I hope you will enjoy this program and that you will definitely take a look at what Niken can do for you. So I'm going to share a screen now with my slides. And let's see, we'll start the slideshow. And discovering active wellness is what Niken invites everyone to do. I discovered Niken 18 years ago, and I was very, very pleased. I had been an attorney and quit practice to be with my children and my family, and I studied nutrition on my own to make sure I could keep them all healthy, and I started teaching it. And I also started sharing philosophies about parenting and family and putting family first and living a life in balance. So when I came across Niken, it was a perfect fit for me. Living in balance was what I was trying to do, although I thought I'd given up some of the big money from corporate law practice, but Niken changed that too. So I invite you to discover active wellness. It's really about the little changes we make each day, little choices. And that's what I always shared with my parenting clients and nutrition clients. It's the small choices we make. It's not joining a huge diet program. It's not joining a fitness club and just falling away in a month. It's little things we do every day, just the food choices, the air we breathe, how we spend our time. And we have a daily choice of whether we're going to try to reach for our potential with the humans being more. That's the motto of the company, and it really is our ultimate goal. With the products, it's about health and fitness and physical wellness, but humans being more, we need our health to be all we can be. And we can choose every day whether we want to be humans under stress, and that's not where we want to be, but stress is increasing every day in our society. We have so many health problems today. Stress is recognized as contributing to over 70% to what kills us and what ruins our quality of life: heart disease, diabetes, fatigue, allergies, sleep, and mental issues like anxiety and depression. Stress exacerbates all of that. We have sleep issues. We know that's huge. We have sleep clinics jumping up everywhere and people taking drugs to fall asleep, to wake up. One poor night's sleep drops the immune system by 60% immediately. We have outdoor air pollution, and now indoor pollution is even worse because we have closed up our houses since the 70s to save on costs of cooling and heating. And so we collect all the toxins from our cleaning products, our furnishing products, our curtains, our bedding even, and also the positive ions build up that are not good for us, and they cause stress, made it harder to breathe when we're sleeping, and so on. And we don't even realize we're being affected by dust particles and things that accumulate inside all the time. Then there's our water, and we don't have to talk much about that after the Flint, Michigan incident, but there are over 260 contaminants in typical tap water, and bottled water has contained over 20,000 different chemicals at different times. So we are really being inundated, and our toxic burden is increasing every day with 30,000 chemicals out there that we are exposed to just as consumers. And if you're near a manufacturing plant, it's even worse. So we have some awful health trends that really affect our children the most. 1 out of every adolescent was obese in 2011. Every 5 adolescents was obese in 2011 to 2012, and nearly 30% of children aged 2 to 11 were overweight. Inadequate consumption of essential nutrients has been seen to increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes, and these are all on the increase at younger and younger ages. Less than half of adolescents eat the recommended amount of vegetables or get the recommended amount of sleep, especially since the digital world has taken over. The screens are everywhere, and it's very hard for children to break away from them. Low-income families have lower levels of well-being due to limited resources, lack of access to healthier foods, high levels of stress, anxiety, and depression because of their stresses in their lives, and greater exposure to marketing of obesity-promoting products and limited access to health care. So we have a huge and growing population that is overstressed in their health. Only 27% of high school children report meeting the standard by the the Health and Human Services guidelines for physical activity. And that's no surprise when so many of them are overweight and stressed and just don't feel like being physically active. So things aren't getting better until we take command of our own health. We need to choose health every day and not rely on chance, because our chances aren't good with all the toxins and the stresses and the poor sleep and so on. So we need to choose active wellness. Active wellness we define as a process through which people become aware of and make choices toward a more successful existence. That's active wellness. We do have to make choices. Gone are the days where we could just do the normal things and we'd stay well. We really have to work at preserving, protecting, and enhancing our health. So along comes Nikken. I believe it's a total solution. It's a one-stop shop for wellness. We have a holistic approach to life, and Nikken started out in 1975 with this philosophy that health and happiness depended on a balance in all 5 major areas of daily life: mind, body, family, society, and finances. And if any of these, what we call the 5 pillars, is weak, the others will start to suffer. So we really need to build in all 5 pillars. And that is a constant awareness with Nikken, from consultants to customers to the corporate and staff. It's all about trying to make humans being more by finding that balance in the 5 pillars. And I'm focusing mostly on the physical and mental pillar today with our products. You have a full coverage, what I call the ultimate wellness environment. You don't have to really do anything new in your world as long as you create the right environment with air, sleep, water, quality food, and light. And Nikken is really constantly researching to return us to the natural energy fields that nature intended to build healthy bodies on. So our products focus on these 5 areas: air, sleep, water, food, and light. And they're geared to relaxation and nutrition, skincare, and the environment, and rest and relaxation. So these are the products. I'm going to go through them very quickly. We have some wonderful calls that focus specifically on different technologies and needs for the body: air, water, sleep, daily energy, nutrition, and skincare. And whoever invited you to be on this call, they can steer you to the special calls that cover those technologies. But I'm going to run through them really quickly because I'm so excited for them and I use them all. The nutrition is second to none. Being a nutritionist, I looked at that very hard and was so impressed that Nikken was at the cutting edge of the whole field. And the products they have now are like third generation since 1997. So they have stayed at the cutting edge. And I'll just mention a couple of special products that are unique to Nikken, although most of them are particularly unique. They're pharmaceutical grade. They never megadose, which is really important. You're working with the body, not manipulating it, trying to change a few numbers, trying to change a few symptoms. No, working with different systems of the body. So what you see if you're online with the pictures is Osteodens. That's a bone health supplement that's based on mother's milk, what builds a baby's bones. And we all have that in our bodies, but Osteodens replenishes it as we age. It's an amazing product. And even if you're allergic to milk products, it's so purified by a patented process that anyone can use it to help their bones stay healthy and get healthy. We've seen mere miracles where people have gotten off some of the drugs that have side effects and have started using Nikken Osteodens. They do see verified great results and they feel good too. You also see the Siaga, which is a wonderful exotic fruit drink. There's no water, sugar, preservatives, nothing added. It's just what nature intended us to get from our berries. And humans have always collected berries and they put them all together, highest antioxidant content of any juice out there, but it also helps with the immune system, against stress. The antioxidants is the cardiovascular system and the GI tract. So we have products for each system of the body, very easy to use. We use them all. And the skincare, we have a beautiful new line of skincare that's certified organic and based on marine minerals and really feeds the skin. The skin's the biggest organ in our first defense against the environment. So do look into the skincare. Going on to the environment, which you see here, we have 3 water products. One is the waterfall, which again is the third evolution of Nikken technologies. And it does everything to the water that nature intends after it filters your tap water. Then there's a shower system there, and we also have a little carry bottle, so you can take the PyMag Nikken water with you everywhere. The behind is an air system, and also that's third generation evolution. Nikken is always improving its technologies and even reducing its prices to make them more and more available. And you also see the full spectrum lights there. Rest and relaxation, I believe, is the core of our product line because 7 or 8 hours, hopefully 8.5, 9, you are in bed getting replenished. And Nikken has developed the ultimate sleep system with natural sustainable materials, all made in the US, with a magnetic field and a comforter and pillow to match to keep you in a perfect sandwich of great energy from the earth and the sun. The insoles were the very first product 40 years ago, and Nikken became the fastest growing company in the history of Japan just with those insoles. So that's a great place to start if you really can't start with a total wellness home. But we really want every home to be a wellness home. If you can imagine how if everybody were relaxed and renewed every night, we would have a more peaceful, happier world to live in. So that's our goal. And that last little square there is one of my favorite products. It's a back, it's called the MagFlex. It's a back pad that can also be used on the tummy or the bronchioles, anywhere that's stressed, and it can relax the back or the tummy in moments. It's really wonderful. So we have many endorsements. I'm not going to go into the details, but we've been endorsed by international organizations around the world. And so we ask you to become a customer. And if you're interested in the business, get your products and go to one of the the calls that are all about the business. But first, start with yourself and your family. Start anywhere in your wellness home, just get started. Now I want to welcome one of my guests tonight. It's actually my husband, John Rolfe. And let me stop the sharing here and bring John on and unmute him. Okay, he's unmuted. So welcome, John. This is my husband. We've been together, oh my gosh, 47 years. And Nikan was a wonderful addition to our lives. So I'd love you, John, to share what got you excited about Nikan, besides me saying, wow, this is cool.
Well, when we first got our products, I guess the first thing we got was, well, there were a couple things. At that time, the company didn't have very many products, but the sleep system was one of the main things. And from the first night, now, I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't looking for anything. I thought I was really healthy, and we were just doing this for prevention because we knew that these energies would be helpful. Rather than the kind of home that most people have where you don't have these supportive energies. You have other things, so I don't have time to go into that. But anyhow, I wasn't really expecting anything. But from the first night, I woke up feeling more rested than usual and in an hour less time. So that was really cool. And then right after that, we got the mattress things for our kids. We had 2 teenagers at the time, and when they got up in the morning, they would drag, and it was really kind of thing. Well, the first night that they slept with the new mattress things, they got up the next morning in an hour or 2 less than they usually slept, and they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed rather than dragging. So it was really dramatic. And, I've continued to use to sleep on that for the last 18 and a half years, and I'm really happy about it. It relaxes me and takes out any stress or anything I've done to myself during the day. I injured myself a little bit or whatever. It's gone by the morning.
Cool. Well, I know you have an additional story about the sleep system from some childhood issues you had. So can you tell us that story, please?
Yes. When I was a kid, I had asthma, and it was severe enough. It got me a 1Y deferment from the military, which meant I didn't have to go to the Vietnam War. And throughout my life and my adult life, I never could breathe through my nose. It was always stopped up. I always breathed through my mouth. And after I'd been using the sleep system for a couple of months, all of a sudden I woke up one morning and I noticed I was breathing through my nose. And I was like, wow, this is great. And the first day, it only lasted about maybe an hour. The next day, it lasted a little bit longer, and the day after that, longer still. And within a month or 2, I was breathing through my nose all day long. And I've continued ever since. Now, that's something I never expected. I just assumed that's the way I was, and that was the best I would be. I wasn't trying to fix that. It just happened. And that's one of the beauties of all these things is 2 things. One, you don't know what's going to change for the better. And 2, you may never know what you didn't get. What you didn't get because you used these products.
So true, so true. And I know you have one of your favorite stories. You're a car guy, and we drive back and forth across the country. from Pennsylvania to California to our second home. And so can you tell the difference that's made? And I know I was going to have another guest, but she hasn't been able to get on for some reason. So yeah, I do want to have you share this story.
Okay. Well, a year or two later, they introduced a magnetic seat. And they still have one. The one now is a couple generations later, and it's really a little bit nicer. But the way I used to drive was after an hour or two, I would be sore and stiff. And when I got out of the car, I'd have to kind of unfold myself. And it was like, looked like an old man. So when we were going on a trip, I would drive an hour or two, and then I'd turn it over to you for an hour or two, and then I'd take it back and that kind of thing. Well, when we got this magnetic seat, we were going to an event in Toronto from our home in Philadelphia, and it was an 8 or 10 hour drive. And after driving 2 hours, I got out of the car, and I just kind of jumped out like I'd just gotten in, which had never happened before. I was like blown away, like, wow, this is amazing. And so I said, okay, I'll drive the next part. So I drove the next 2 hours, and then the next, and I drove the whole way. And it was, and I felt great at the end. I didn't have any of that stiffness or soreness or anything that I'd had in the past. And since then, I've never had any trouble driving. And when I hear people talk about, oh, I can't drive in the car, I get all whatever. It's just you need this product. And we have driven, you and I, across the country over 20 times, and I do most of the driving, not all of it, but I do most of it, and it's not a problem. And it's really wonderful. We also use them. I'm sitting on my desk chair right now and have one there. And you have them on yours, and in both our houses. We have 2 in each car. We have 4 cars, and we have them on our sofas in front of the TV. So when we're watching TV, I think we have 18 of them all told, because they're really great. There's no reason not to use them.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. I really appreciate you sharing those stories. And I thank you, John Rolfe, my husband and life partner. And we are enjoying Nikken together, both the business and the products. And I want to tell another story that we have. Like I said, my other guest isn't available, but we lived up in upstate New York for 4 years, and we rebuilt an old farmhouse that had no concrete foundation. It was completely available. That we had a dirt basement, and we rewired it to minimize electric wiring. We were already aware of the dangers of electromagnetism and too much electric around you. We really wanted to live close to nature. And when we joined Nikken, I realized right away that this was amazing, that while we were doing that in the late 70s, Mr. Masuda was over in Japan developing products that would create a microenvironment around us and in our homes that would give us that same earth energy. And we had so many people who would come up and visit us in New York and say, why don't I ever get tired? And we would put them to work helping us build the house, and they said they didn't get tired and they didn't know why. And we now know it was because there was no blockage of the natural earth energy coming up through our dirt basement. So there's real hard science here. This is not just alternative kind of woo-woo. This is real, and there's universities all over the world that are contributing research to what Nikken does. So I really encourage everybody to take a look deep, start using products, start sharing products. All you have to do is share the products. The body responds. And we don't need to know all the science. Nikin takes care of that. But we do need to take responsibility for our own self-care. We don't want to get into the medical system where most of the solutions are drugs that have serious side effects and surgery and even radiation. We need self-care. And if you join again 7:15 in Pacific time and 10:15 tonight in Eastern time, we have a wonderful show coming up with Healthcare Matters, hosted by Walter Sparks Johnson and presented by Dr. Gary Linders. So that's just one of the many calls all week that can change your life, really, and get you informed, get you on Nikin products. It's one-stop shop for wellness and stress and discomfort and for sleep and for nutrition. Wherever you want to start your wellness home, just do it. And thank you so much for listening. It's Randy Rolfe, Nikin Independent Consultant. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.